Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well. This is going to be a work vlog, a work day. I don't know if I'm going to span this over several days. So today is Wednesday. I want to say it's going to be pretty busy. So I will try to bring you guys along and explain what it is that I'm working on. But I need to make a to-do list of all the things I need to do. So I got a request last night. A request came through to update a report or to update a deck, but I need to run some code to update this deck. So I'm trying to get that together. This is a deck or a project that someone on my team that left the team, they owned it. Well, I'm being asked to update it. So I need to find out what I need to update. So that's one thing, is I need to update this. I need to run this code and update this deck this morning. Well, actually, did they put a due date? I don't think they put a due date on it. No, they didn't put a due date on it. So I don't know when this is due, but I'm gonna, I need to put that in that I need to work on. I also, yesterday, someone else that's on my team. So I'm also helping out someone else on my team. She asked me to help her format like a Google Sheet to make it like there's data that she receives, and the way that it's formatted, it has so many merged cells, and it's done by another team that's not in like analytics. So they're just using the sheet for their purposes, and they gave her access to it. And they gave us access to it, but it's view only access. Like, they don't want anyone else editing the numbers, but we have to use the numbers from that sheet. And the way that it's formatted is terrible. So I helped her out by formatting one of her other sheets to make it easier for her to, when she needs to update results and numbers in a slide, it's easier to do, like, because she was going through multiple sheets, multiple pages. So I just put and formatted, used formulas, and put everything on one sheet. So after she refreshes the data, all of the like table, I created one, so everything is in one table and on one sheet. When she refreshes her data, it updates that one sheet, and she's not having to go all over the place. So because I did that work for her, she's asking me to try and format this other sheet in an easier format for her to update. The only issue with this is a sheet that someone else created, and it is, like I said, it has all these merged cells, and it's formatted in a way that's not super easy to work with. So I have to figure out a way to make that easier for her to work in. So that's not something that's due immediately, but it's something that I started to work on yesterday after we met. And then I have a meeting today to help someone else. They want me to build them a dashboard, so either in Click or in Tableau, depending on what it is that they need. And I got the tables from them yesterday that I'll need to access to build this dashboard. But y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but typically when you get a request from someone that's like, hey, build a dashboard, like they already have their code, like they have together, right? Like, is it just me? Because they don't, if you're sending me tables, that means there's no code. So this isn't just a dashboard building request. I feel like I'm gonna need to code. So if they don't come to this call this morning with code, this may take longer than what you are expecting, because not only are you asking me to build a dashboard, I also need to code this to get you the data that you need. There's that. And then I have my own personal project that I've been working on, or trying to work on in between time, where we have a team and they're on like a pilot project, I would say. And this team, we need to kind of monitor what they're doing. And this team interacts with customers over the phone, so they take phone calls. So I need to create code that will allow people like to access the calls where the customers are presenting a specific product. However, the issue that I'm running into is that, okay, you guys, editing Nakya here. I am doing a terrible job of explaining this personal project, so I figured, and then I forgot. So I wanted to explain exactly what it is that I'm trying to do. So I am trying to join data from two separate tables. However, I'm having an issue trying to find the column I can join them on. Like, things that are in common that I can join them on. So this is related to like an employee usage and customers. I'm trying to join data together, but I don't have something in common that I can join them on. Both tables have dates, but let's say that I used something a week ago and the customer chooses to do something with it, let's say 10 days from now. I can't join them on the same date because the dates don't match. And when the customers are using it, it's kind of random. So I can't set it on a specific date or a specific date range. Like I don't have one. Like it's kind of all over the place. So the dates aren't matching for me. The customer information isn't matching for me because the product isn't active at the time that we talk to them. So it's not in the table that has the employee information. That product isn't active yet. It becomes active when they use it. So I can't link it there. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can join these two tables together, and that's what I'm having a hard time doing, is finding something that I can join the tables on. So yeah, it's been a nightmare trying to figure out a way to join it to get the data together. So yeah, that's the problem in a nutshell. Okay, back to the video. So sorry about that. I forgot where I was. What was I talking about? Was it the, okay, we'll pick this up later because I really, like, that text threw me off. So I don't remember what we were talking about. But let me get into work and try to figure out, I need a coffee, but let me try to figure out what I can get updated with this PowerPoint deck or this Google slide first. Okay. Hey, good, how are you? No, I don't think we've met. Nice to meet you, Ben. Yeah, I can help with that. I did. So that was my question. Like, do I need to build, like, create a query for this, or is there already one? I mean, okay. Yeah, so I probably need to go back and look at the tables to match it up to the spreadsheet that you showed so I know what to pull from what tables. Because, yeah, I'm going to have to decode, I'm assuming, to link these things together because they're not in all the same, like all the data isn't in one table. Is my assumption based on the tables that Ben sent me. So, okay. So, talk to me about the score. Is that something that, like, is that a metric I need to build? Yeah, you can show me the tables where you're seeing the scores, like, because you're saying grab the right one. So is it like in multiple rows? Okay. So these different form numbers, they mean something different in May. Yeah. That is in columns. What is up, everybody? It is now Friday. I think the last time I talked to you, I was actually about to jump on a call with someone on my team and discuss like this dashboard that they wanted built. So the gist of that call was that it was the person that's on my team, myself, and then a data scientist from another team. So this data scientist had actually created a portion of the code that she needed for this dashboard, but there was additional coding that I needed to do. So he was just running me through the code that he developed for this project because he's been on this project. They're not building, the data scientist team, they're not going to build a dashboard for this because this isn't something that is going to be widely used. It's going to be used by someone on my team. So or the meeting was just to discuss the requirements, discuss what's needed for the dashboard, and then also like developing, like adding to the code for what is needed for this dashboard. So it wasn't just a build a dashboard request. There is some coding required, or that was required, but some of it was already done. So it was just a run through it because I had no prior knowledge of what was going on. So I got the code and I started working on that Wednesday to add to it. And while I worked on it for the because that happened, I forgot if that meeting was like midway through my shift, but I think I started working on it after lunch and through the end of the day. And then I also worked on it yesterday. That was the majority of my day was working through the code and sending, and then I was meeting with the data scientist, and then I was meeting with the person on my team that I was building the dashboard for, and having us go through data validations, because on Wednesday she's like, yeah, I need this by Friday. Ma'am, that's not going to happen. Like, let's be realistic. It's not that, oh, I can just take the code from the data scientist, put that in the dashboard, and like I'm just doing the dashboard piece. No, it requires coding, and this is a part of data analytics. And even for the data scientist, he was like, yeah, that's not probably going to be possible for her to get you a dashboard done by Friday, which is today. Haven't even started on the dashboard for other reasons, but I wouldn't have been able to start on building the dashboard until today anyways. But we were still doing data validations even this morning, having to go back and validate that this data is accurate and this data is right. Like if she wanted this information wrong, okay, it'll be done by Friday. Everything's going to be wrong. Nothing's going to match. And all these back and forth validations that we're doing, all of that would have been wrong in this dashboard for her to view. So if you want it right, like just give it the appropriate time. Like I don't like that people that don't do that work like to insert and be like, yeah, I want this in 2 days. That's not realistic to code and have a dashboard complete in 2 days. It's just not realistic. So let's be real, and like you don't do this work, so you don't understand what's completely involved because you don't do coding, you don't do dashboard, like you don't build dashboards, you don't do coding. So it's hard to say like, oh yeah, get this to me in 2 days when you don't understand, like from the outside looking in, like it's unrealistic in my point of view. Like I know you want it by Friday, but that's just not going to be possible based on what you're needing. And then also look at all of the things that we found that were wrong in the code. And then also after we fix the code, then there's additional requirements. Well, you're saying you don't want to see this, you want this added. So there's just changes because based on your initial request, this is what you wanted. Like she gave me a whole like sheet of the columns that she wanted in the table. Well, that changed once you find out what data is available, how it looks once we actually model it to the way that you're asking us to. Now everything's changed, or maybe not changed. There's information you didn't disclose to us that you wanted. So now we have to go and make changes to the code before we can even get to the dashboard portion. What I discovered today was that my Tableau license expired, so I can't even start building the dashboard. I don't even remember when it expired, but it expired, so I had to put in a request to get my license renewed for Tableau. It has to go through my manager approval. She is out today, so it's not even going to be approved. So what I'm trying to do in the meantime is build it in Click. The only issue is that in Click, because our database manager, they're not going to approve having this automatically refreshed, like on a schedule to refresh it daily, because it's only used by like 1 or 2 people. This isn't being published for everyone to use. This dashboard is being built for one specific, or like 1 or 2 people to use. There are requirements that are that we have in place that if you want a dashboard published for public use, there is a minimum like kind of threshold of users that it needs to be for, that, which is why the data scientist team isn't doing it to begin with. So I can do it in Tableau and I can schedule a refresh in Tableau, but In Click, it works a little bit differently. So I would have to manually refresh this every day. And I'm just trying to get the data loaded into Click, and it's been about 45 minutes and nothing is loaded yet. And I'm just like, this is getting on my nerves. I don't know if it's something I'm doing or if it's the million if it's the million like tabs I have open. I don't know. I need to figure out how to get this to run faster if possible, because this is just taking too freaking long in Click. That's where I'm at. I'm trying to build this dashboard and Click for her, but I can't even get the data loaded at this point. So, and I'm only trying to load a portion of the script that's needed to see what comes in, how it looks, but I can't even do that yet. So I'm still waiting. It's still going. So yeah. So that's where I'm at. I just wanted to check in and let you guys know that. Okay. Hello, everyone. I think the last time that I checked in with you for this work vlog was Friday maybe. And Friday I was explaining that I didn't have my Tableau license. So I got that approved on Monday. So I was able to start working on the dashboard for my teammate on Monday. So I started working on that. I am waiting. I'm still working on that. I wasn't able to work on it on Tuesday because I wasn't working Tuesday. But I'm back today, Wednesday, working on it again, trying to finish up the dashboard, make sure we have everything correct. But I am waiting on my teammate to let me know about some of the columns that should be in the dashboard, because when I was going through building the query, I typically include columns, or there are typically columns in the query that don't necessarily end up in the end product as far as the dashboard goes. And she's asking why these columns aren't, like, why I didn't include some of those columns. And I'm like, well, she gave me like a spreadsheet of the columns that she wanted included in the final product, and that's what I put in there. So that's why it doesn't match, like the data that I had her validating. That's why it doesn't match. But if she wants those in there, I just wanted her to update the spreadsheet as far as what columns she wants to see in the final product. So I'm waiting to get that from her, but for the time being, I'm still going to work on the columns I do know that are needed. One of the issues that I'm trying to work through and figure out is, so Tableau is where I'm building the dashboard, and for some reason it's kind of merging the cells, because this has information broken out by employees, and it's kind of merging the data into, it's not separating the rows for this employee, it's merging it together. So I need to unmerge it. I think I may need to add in like a column for an index, so it'll break it and separate it out, and then try to hide that. This is a newer version of Tableau, so some things have changed from what I remember being able to use the last time I created a dashboard. So probably need to brush up on my skills there and figure out what exactly is going on so I can get that worked out. But outside of that, I'm just doing my normal everyday stuff, meetings, calls, catching up from anything that I missed yesterday. But yeah, that's all that's going on right now. So I will try to check in with you guys. I'm over customers, so I am doing a text analysis project, you guys, and like the stuff that the customer, like for most businesses, we use like voice of the customer to get their feedback, right? Like the stuff that let me just say, like if you ask someone, hey, how are you doing today? And they give you an answer, the sky is blue. Like that has nothing to do with your question. I'm over it. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? What are we supposed to do with that? Like, you ask someone a very specific question, like, hey, can you go to the grocery store? Can you get me some eggs? And they start talking to you about the price of milk. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? It has nothing to do with what I asked you. Okay? Not a doggone thing. So I'm just sitting here stumped. Ugh, I'm over it. But just to catch you guys up on where I'm at, we are still working on this dashboard. Ugh, it's Thursday. We're still working on this dashboard. I think I need to end this video because this is the dashboard that never ends. Like, so I need to make changes. I had to make changes. I had a meeting first thing this morning because the data source, I had to change my code because there's a form that is being used and that form was changed. So because that form was changed, I have to change my code because it feeds in from that form into the table. So I had to change my code because that changed, which also means I need to change the dashboard because my code changed. And oh, I gotta do this other, okay. So that just reminded me of something else I need to do. So I have to go through changing my code that's in my Tableau dashboard, because in Tableau you have the ability to, like, for example, if it was a table that I created, it could have like select all from this table. So if I changed my code and everything is still in that table and that's what Tableau is pulling from, it will automatically update. However, in this case, I am not pulling from a table. My code is in Tableau. As far as the data source, the code is there in the section for SQL. So I have to edit my code there as well. Now that I've tested it in the database, I need to just update it there so that the next refresh, it will refresh and have that updated. And then also I met with my team member. She wants to change some things around as far as how the dashboard looks. So I need to make those changes as well. So that's what I'm doing today. But in addition to that, last night my manager gave me this project that I need to work on, which is this text analysis project for voice of the customer. And y'all, just questions not like the answers don't match the questions that we're asking. Like, they're not matching. So it's more so an issue going through those ones where it doesn't match. Like, but this is customers. They are going to go on, like, if you've ever dealt with customers or in customer service in any industry, if you've ever dealt with customers, you know they'll bring up an issue they had in 1999 and you're like, it's 2023, let that go, let it go. But that's neither here nor there. So I need to meet with one of my team members. We need to calibrate on how we're going through this, because I don't know if she's seeing the same thing I'm seeing. I'm working on this text analysis with someone else. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to end this vlog here, this work vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave it below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.